What are the train's faces made of? Is it flesh or is it like a rubbery material? If I cut Thomas's face with a knife, would he bleed?
Well now, the top 13 darkest and scariest adaptations will be out sometime this week. I can't exactly say when, but it should be this week. So stay tuned for that. For now, I want to get back into my commentary on certain things regarding the lore of Thomas as a whole. And this is a really interesting thing. I think I've only touched base upon it maybe a couple times in the last couple of videos, but what are the faces made from? Now let me address the elephant taking a massive crap in your living room. We're talking about sentient talking trains. They're like, try to be real with the stories they tell and the world it created. We've established that, and I just want to say the Magic Railroad here does not count. That's a whole separate acid trip. We're only talking about what we grew up with, what we've known for the past 24 seasons. So, what are the faces made of? I'd like to imagine it's some kind of organic material, considering in a couple episodes, some engines are able to blush.
Hello, nurse!
Or the way that James's face reacts to a bee sting. It inflates and blows up and turns red, meaning there's a presence of blood. If that's the case, I have a theory about what they're made of. This theory will sound like something I thought of when I was home alone and the power and Wi-Fi got knocked out. And I am not going to shed 17 levels of what the fuck and, well, engineering in general. No. The material has to be organic still. But what if locomotives aren't built? What if they're an ongoing species utilized by humans like the way we utilize horses and domesticated them, and are given medical treatment the same way horses get medical treatment? We have repair shops for the engines. This is what I came up with. Bear with me here. All these locomotives are plant/animal hybrids that have existed for millions of years. Let's begin from the very beginning, shall we? 65 million years ago, the Cretaceous period experienced a mass extinction. The dinosaurs were basically terminated, and from the ashes rose mammals, primates, and new plants. Among these new plants was a species called Astemomastus locomotivarius. It grew from the ground, absorbing nutrients from the natural occurring fossil fuels of coal and water and crude petroleum. It didn't feed off of sunlight like other plants do during photosynthesis. And 5 months later, this plant would sprout itself a small engine like a fruit. It was a metallic looking plant, and the fruit had a face to its own right, the model and shape of a boiler, cylinders, and other components forming the engine. Millions of years later, humans who have utilized horse and rail carts decided they needed a faster and more efficient way of doing the work. Along comes a brilliant British engineer named Trevithick, who discovered a plant he had found. He carefully studied the organism, and before he knew it, this plant grew an organism capable of pulling loads and making steam, whilst only feeding upon coal and water. With some botanical knowledge, he grew his own, and the first sentient steam locomotive was born. Needless to say, it was a great success, and other great engineers came and went across the world, genetically modifying these plants to grow locomotives bigger, faster, and stronger. And eventually, these creature-like locomotives learned to speak each respective language to the region where they were, and were provided with repair shops which took care of their every ailment and sickness. The species grew and grew, each getting more and more genetically modified as the years went on. They congregated happily across the world, where the world had taken a full liking to them. The presence of these locomotives inspired a young reverend in the UK to make stories up for his sick child, and the rest, as they say, is history. See? It's a pretty fucking harebrained idea. I think most theories are pretty elaborate and straight up weird sometimes. But hey, like, can you guys come up with anything better? I don't know. I've read quite a few, and yeah, so they're just as fucking whack. Well, you're still here with me, mentally exhausted and beyond the limit. I'm sure you are. That's a theory I have. I really can't think of anything else except, oh, magic! That's like someone asking you, oh, how did the Titanic sink? And someone just screams, iceberg! And that's usually all said without explaining the architectural and structural reasons for why the unsinkable ship failed. I'll tell you one thing, it's incredibly difficult to produce a solid-sounding theory without appearing to be on the influence of psychedelic drugs or absolutely looking like you're mentally insane. Thankfully, I can say my mental state and health is okay. But thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoy this or are left utterly fucking confused by it. Either way, you taking the time to watch my videos is much appreciated. And as for the darkest and scariest top 13 video, it'll be out sometime this week. I still have a lot of organizing to do with this list, especially ranking everything else from 13 to 1. So please just stay tuned for that. Other than that, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching.